Howdy. So, more post-Wildfire wrap-up. Charlie demoed for me a move that I thought was just like ridiculously sweet, which is a plane shifting move where you're essentially sketching out a cube between a number of different planes. Start off in wall plane, split time same direction, stall out of it into opposite split time in buzzsaw plane, stall one up and one down, which brings you into split time same direction, the opposite direction of the one you started in. Stall one up and one down, and you wind up in split time opposites with your arms crossed. Stall one up and one down, move them around into the center, and you wind up in split time opposites buzzsaw plane once again. Stall one up and one down, you go back to the original position. So all together. It looks like that. Or it would, if I could keep the bastard together. Yeah. So, big fan of this. Where I want to see it go is I want to be able to add stalls, not just to get it into opposites, but to do horizontal movements as well to completely define the cube. Not there yet. Y'all will know when I get there though. Anyway, also in the realm of plane bending. So playing around with these kind of horizontal moves right here, these kind of horizontal stalls, was also introduced to the idea that you can just kind of let these fall, that you can let gravity take them and they wind up in a stable position. Which is kind of a similar idea to if you're doing pendulum stalls, that point at which your hand arrests the movement of the poi by going above it, right? By letting gravity take over. Which, technically speaking, you can do that in any plane, except that gravity then decides to take the control of it away from you, which is why doing it off of horizontal looks so incredibly nice. So that led me to this little beastie, which is doing top stalls out of same time butterfly into corkscrew motion. You let your entire body follow it. You take a step, and you bring the poi back around corkscrew style. And when you're up top, you stall back down into a reverse butterfly on the opposite side of you. Which also means that you can turn straight back forward into forwards butterfly. Why is this cool? You can think of this as being a poi palindrome. In other words, the ending is the same as the beginning. I've long wanted to practice poi in a way similar to how musicians learn counter melody, which is you execute a certain sequence one way, and then you execute it going exactly the opposite way. Essentially, you work through the melody both forwards and backwards. You work through the sequence both forwards. No. And backwards. No, it still doesn't have. Never mind. Oh, yes. Right, that example. But anyways, you get the idea. And this is really the first movement I found that very naturally aligns itself in a way that puts you exactly right back where you started. So I'm a big fan of it. I'm thinking of it as kind of a poi palindrome, and I can't wait to find more of them. Finally, a type of throw that I was was kind of introduced to a Wildfire. I'd seen it in videos before, but I didn't understand how it was executed. Is this idea of coming out of rotation, you float up, whoops, and a little before the poi reaches the apex of where it's going on that float, you toss the handle around, and it isolates around a center point for you to catch again. Oops. Which, turns out, is not so incredibly different an idea from a couple weeks ago when I was playing with Yuta stalls coming out of floats, right? In fact, it's the exact same idea. It's just that in the middle, when you're switching your hands to a different plane, you're instead throwing in that plane, right? So where this leads me to is the idea that quite possibly all these Yuta stalls that we've been playing with will have analogous throws to them. I'm not there yet. It's going to be a hell of a lot of fun to figure them out. Anyway, that is everything for this week, and thank you guys so very much for watching, and I will see you all next week. Peace.